So generally when we do a preview video for a pay-per-view, we'll watch SmackDown on Friday and we'll base our opinions off that go-home show on SmackDown. But right now, we don't really want to watch SmackDown, and hopefully we have provided you a good piece of video content on the Friday that we put out yesterday to replace the SmackDown review, which quite frankly we just cannot watch. So with this preview, we're currently recording this on Thursday. But the point of the matter is, we'd usually record it on Friday, we'd usually watch SmackDown, but when does SmackDown ever seem to give us any pay-per-view hype or go-home show feel or any matches added? It doesn't really ever do that on go-home show, does it?
Sadly, when it comes to SmackDown, like many YouTubers would say, is not really the show to watch, not the tune-in show. And when it comes to this show before the pay-per-view, you do expect the roundup, the last SmackDown hype going into the pay-per-view. We get it now and again, but not as often as the WWE should be giving it to us. So instead, they save it all for Raw, which is why our Raw reviews are long like they are.
Indeed, and if you enjoyed what we did, we'd like your feedback on it, of course. We did like more topical videos rather than looking at exactly what happened on SmackDown. Right now, we're going to preview Survivor Series with the British Fist, as you know. Mr. Parkin here, NJ here.
What's up?
The usual pre-material stuff. Subscribe above, like this video, comment any thoughts you have going into Survivor Series down in that comment section below.
And please make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Indeed, rinse, lather, repeat, NJ, much like the WWE. So going into Survivor Series, are your expectations low, high? I mean, I really just, I'm not bothered about this. It's supposed to be a Big Four pay-per-view, and yet there's 5 matches, and I just don't care.
To be honest, I'm going to give some matches compliments as we go through, but majority of it I'm not looking forward to at all.
I mean, the shows that we've watched on the way to Survivor Series have been utter crap, really, especially that one in the UK. They've switched stuff around, as NJ is quite vagrantly demonstrating there. There's only 5 matches on the card. I mean, last year, I think we had 4 pre-announced matches, and they just added 4 at they added 2 at the last minute, or so I can't remember exactly. Maybe that was SummerSlam, but for a Big Four pay-per-view, 5 matches is just not enough, and really, it goes to show you that when they have one Survivor Series elimination tag match, when there's 10 people involved in that, it just shows you the lack of depth of the WWE's roster. They have one Survivor Series match, and they're already struggling to put 6 matches on the card. They've got 5. I mean, it's just not good enough.
It's sad because with the roster declining, with the amount of feuds actually on the shows, they did struggle to build up this card. They've done an okay job with the matches, they make sense, but overall the build for this pay-per-view has been zilch.
Yeah, and we only have really 3 matches on this card that have any real meaning, and not to forget the way they changed the pay-per-view around with Vince McMahon shooting on the UK Raw and changing the main event around. Now, we've already given our thoughts on that, but to be honest with you, the way they've done it, even though I didn't like how they got there, I think it's made the card a lot better, to be honest with you.
The thing is, when the WWE are obviously making plans for pay-per-views, they should have done it better for this pay-per-view, because week 2 should have been week 1. Week 1 should have had alters for week 2. Week 3, that was a bit rushed to get to the final points for the pay-per-view. So to be honest, the 3 weeks have been all over the place, out of sync, and just not the best for this pay-per-view.
And for a Big Four show, 3 weeks of build, I'm sorry, it's just not enough. You gave 6 weeks of build to Hell in a Cell, which is a filler pay-per-view, and 3 weeks of build to Survivor Series. What the fuck sense does that make?
They've really lost it with that, and plus I'm really glad that Vince McMahon has done what he did, but it's a shame that they did not do this on the week 1.
Exactly, then the build probably would have been a little bit better, and I could have been a little bit more excited about it. We'll go on to the matches, though. Just a quick question, actually. The pre-show. Would you rather see a pre-show match, or would you rather see a Sunday Night Heat? I just want to. Would you guys prefer to see like a Sunday Night Heat hour-long show where they kind of hype the pay-per-view, have a couple of like nice little filler matches on there an hour before the pay-per-view, or would you rather see a pre-show on YouTube? I just wonder.
I think, to be honest, a pre-show is better than that, especially when we've got so many wrestling shows already. Why add Heat back to give us another show piled on to what we've already got? So a pre-show where they're putting like the most unimportant matches, or the matches no one really cares about. Pre-shows are good, so I think pre-show works.
I mean, to be honest, WWE set a new precedent at the last pay-per-view by having a promo segment in the pre-show. This pay-per-view, we have Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd versus 2 members of 3MB. Could be Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater or Drew McIntyre. I have a feeling that it'll be Mahal and Slater. Do you really care about 3MB and this match? Where did this come from?
It still shows we've got 2 extra tag teams within the WWE, but this match particularly no one cares about.
Another tag match which we might get on this card is Rey and Sin Cara versus the Primetime Players. Even though Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara have already gone over, this feud has been featured prominently on the show. It hasn't been announced though. You'd really think that, especially if it might maybe like a #1 contendership match, they would announce this match at a time. It's not that hard. I mean, come on.
The real sad thing is we've already got our #1 contenders which are involved in the Battle Royal thing, the 5-on-5. The thing they should have done is the match they did on Raw when they had like Raw, sorry,
have a
multiple
4-on-4
tag teams. Now that, cause it still shows you've got a large tag team division, and plus they're all fighting to give us an entertaining match.
And it would have been another Survivor Series elimination tag team match, 4-on-4, with the tag teams showing that you have at least some tag teams on the show, and 2 of the main tag teams are in one of the bigger matches. So, Antonio Cesaro versus R-Truth for the US Championship. Is this just another Cesaro match that you don't care about, even though Cesaro as a performer itself is actually pretty good? Do you actually care?
What I'm going to say about this, the compliment in the bad mouthing, the compliment is R-Truth is better than him putting on doing nothing.
Yeah,
he's actually in the mid-card, back to where he was once entertaining in. The bad mouth is Cesaro's not at a place where you would like to see him still as the champion. You can't really get behind him. And plus this match, we can predict the result, because obviously Cesaro is the one who's going to be growing in the WWE for a later feud, and R-Truth's just there to bring in entertainment and give Cesaro a challenger.
You know, I read some news that WWE are actually quite high on Cesaro, but to me it doesn't seem like they are, because they're not really giving him any big feuds or anything, and this is just another match that, quite frankly, I just don't care about, really. It's been a generic feud between a heel and a babyface over a title. I just don't care. Eve Torres versus Caitlyn for the Divas Championship. I care more about this match, to be honest with you. At least this has actually had some story to it, going back to the attack from Caitlyn, even though I don't care about the Divas division in general. At least I care about this a little bit.
This match was rushed at the last week, because obviously the Divas division is not as important in the WWE compared to the other matches. This match, you could almost predict was coming. Again, this is a prominent thing that's been going on weekly, because obviously you see Eve involved with Caitlyn and Layla. But do I care about this match? No.
No, I mean, I don't really care about that. Sorry, I don't really care about this match either, but at least they're trying to do something other than random match. Match of the pay-per-view we don't care about. That's all. The only positive I can really say about that. Team Ziggler versus Team Foley. Getting out of the way the fact that this was all planned at the last minute and everything, you have Dolph Ziggler, Team Rhodes Scholars, even though Cody Rhodes is apparently injured, Wade Barrett and Alberto Del Rio versus The Miz, who made that face turn, Kofi Kingston, Team Hell No, and Randy Orton. Now, the 2 big talking points here, I guess, will be the first 2 we'll talk about. Cody Rhodes' injury. Who's going to replace him? Tensai?
Well, we've discussed this beforehand, and Tensai's the only one who's a strong enough heel to be involved in this. Yes, I've seen some of the people tweeting ideas, but the ideas some people have been tweeting, these wrestlers have not been on TV to get this place, and Tensai is the only one who has.
Indeed, and Miz has turned face. Now, me and NJ both did individual videos on this. Go check his out. He did his on Tuesday. I uploaded mine on Friday, where we give our thoughts on the Miz's baby face turn. Go check out those videos and comment on them. So yeah, so this should be a pretty good match, I guess.
The 2 things I like about this, because you pointed out those 2 points, one of mine would have been the Miz being added in, because again, as long as he stays face, this has opened many doors to possible matches down the line, and the other one is none other than Wade Barrett.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he could have said, I'm only going to join your team if I become the leader, which I thought would have been better for Wade Barrett to be the leader.
Nexus.
But it didn't happen, so instead, it's Ziggler, and I'm really glad that Wade Barrett's in a prominent role at a pay-per-view.
The real reason why you like Miz being involved is because you predicted it.
That's another reason.
You did a very good job of predicting it as well. Come from NJ first, people. So yeah, it should be a good match there. They've got a couple of feuds in there. They've got the Orton-Del Rio feud, even though Orton has won 2 matches. They've got Team Rhodes Scholars versus Team Hell No in there. Others?
I'm going to say something. We've done this for the second predictions video. Who are we going to think is going to win these matches?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yes,
I'd say Caitlyn, the Divas match, and Team Foley, because they generally like the babyfaces to go over. I think do you think this could lead to a Ziggler-Foley match down the line or something?
The way I'm going to say, quickly, Antonio, Cesaro, Caitlyn, and in this, I'm going to be more the heel side, because I think the heel have a better development, because most of the wrestlers in the heel side have progression. Like, you have Team Rhodes Scholars, they're 2 wrestlers who are going to progress. You have Wade Barrett, Ziggler, they're all progressive wrestlers, so I'm going to say the heels would be the better winners here. But yes, I think that feud will be a definitely strong one that we wanted to see when they teased it months back. So yes.
Who do you think will be the sole survivors? If you're voting for the heel team, I'll do the face team.
Okay, let me look at the heels. I would love the heels to be Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I think Ziggler, if the heels are going to win, as it is Team Ziggler. I guess if I'm going to go for the babyface side, which I will, it'll either be The Miz because he's like the new babyface so they want to spotlight, or it'll be Randy Orton.
I would love to have, on the base side, 'cause you did one for the heel, I would like to have Barrett and Miz in the final, because that is a feud that I would love to see following Survivor Series, and if they're in the final together, sets up a feud following this pay-per-view.
So hopefully this should do a good job in forwarding some feuds and hiding the belts like it has done the IC belt and the tag team belt, even though they had a tag team title match on main event and they had an IC match on SmackDown. That's irrelevant right now, I guess. So yeah, so we'll move on. The World Heavyweight Championship match, Big Show versus Sheamus. They had a really great match at the last pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. Can they top it at this pay-per-view, do you think?
I think this could be a struggle because it was the first time match where they faced each other without touching each other. But I think because of the build up this for the second time round and because of Sheamus' strong booking, especially during SmackDown, I really think that it's going to be hard to top it, but I'm going to be voting. We probably have a different agreement here, but I'm saying that Big Show will retain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the feeling that Sheamus may get the belt back, or they may do a Ziggler cash-in at Survivor Series or something. That's what I think they're going to do here. It's going to be very hard for them to top off that great match they had at Hell in a Cell, simply because it's not the first time they've touched in the ring, etc. So I see Sheamus winning here. I just think that they've given the belt to Big Show. They've had Sheamus chasing the belt for a while, and they're going to give it to him back. That's what I feel is going to happen.
As much as that does happen, I personally don't want to see it. The reason I voted Big Show is because I'm hating, even though I'm not a fan of Big Show as I used to be, it's all this embarrassing stuff they're giving him and short title reigns. I just want it to come to an end. So for Big Show to beat Sheamus for the second time, continue being a strong heel on SmackDown would be a good direction, and Sheamus getting the title back. Do we really want to go through the era of Sheamus as the champ again?
What if Ziggler cashes in, though?
That could be the saviour of the show, but then it'll be a Ziggler versus Sheamus feud, which could be good, but we all know that WWE book babyface is incredibly strong. And
especially when Dolph Ziggler isn't the kind of guy that you'd know WWE would ever really properly get behind with booking. Apparently Ziggler and Orton are going to be dominating the title scene later down the line. Yeah, because we've not seen that match about 10 freaking times already, WWE. The main event of the evening... Let's face it, this is going to be the main event. CM Punk versus Ryback versus John Cena. I must admit, I didn't like the way they got there. They took John Cena out of that AJ Lee storyline. Yes. They took Ryback and Punk out of the Team Punk versus Team Foley match. It's a better main event. Do I like how they got there? No. But CM Punk versus Ryback versus Cena has an interesting ring to it.
And this is the match that I think has affected the build big time, because following Hell in a Cell, it already screamed out triple threat.
Yeah,
triple
it did.
Threat.
Especially after what happens Night of Champions as well.
That's another thing. Then it follows on to Raw, where they thought, instead of doing the logical thing that Hell in a Cell was screaming out to us, let's put them into the team versus team match. Wrong idea. Week 2, they corrected that. And this match now is booked correctly. We've got it. Now we've just got to decide who's going to win and why.
Yeah, and CM Punk is now approaching a year-long reign. He's surpassed Kevin Nash. He's going to be surpassing John Cena's reign, I believe, soon, and Hulk Hogan. And the only ones he's got left to beat there is Hulk Hogan's of the 4 years of the 80s. But
and this is the thing now, because you said about that CM Punk is going to pass a year. This helps the match be more important, because if he was in that team versus team match, he's got the year in his hands, but now he's putting the belt on the line. This match could go any direction now.
Yeah, and do you see Punk winning here? Because I must admit, there's news that they're apparently going to do CM Punk versus Rock at WrestleMania, and if that's the case, then John Cena will be winning this match. I don't see Ryback eating the pin, though. I really don't.
The thing about this is that I think yes, they may want to give CM Punk the glory of the year title run, but with the possible Royal Rumble match and then the possible WrestleMania match, I would prefer CM Punk versus The Rock at WrestleMania more than the Rumble. So if Cena got it back, yes, you'll probably get a rant, but it'll be a rant for the good reasons. So I'm hoping Cena.
You're hoping... Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard you say that. You hope Cena wins. Like you said, it really just depends on what plans they have for WrestleMania. If they have plans for Punk and Rock, then they have to kind of make Cena win here, really. If they have plans for Rock versus Cena, then Punk's going to win here, in my opinion. And Ryback won't eat a pin. He'll get involved in another big feud. Maybe they'll make a feud with Big Show going into WrestleMania or something. So, yeah, I mean, this match does have an interest. I mean, you've got Ryback, who's a massive star. Cena's the top guy. CM Punk is the top heel. So you do have an interesting dynamic here. I do hope, though, that Ryback and Cena don't touch too much, because I think that the top two babyfaces on Raw is a match for a big pay-per-view down the line that I would probably like to see.
Well, I'm the opposite to that. I want to see Cena and Ryback go at it, because for the last 2 Raws, the WWE just gave them stare downs, and Punk, on the other hand, has been getting beaten down by both of them. So I would love to see, actually, the competition between Cena and Ryback take place in the ring, then to hit each other, and to see if the WWE will allow Ryback to beat the hell out of Cena.
It would be interesting. Cena's been the top guy for such a long time. Would Vince McMahon actually allow Ryback to go over Cena in some kind of way, whether it just be being dominant over him or whatever? But like I said, an interesting dynamic here. But I do see... Basically, it just depends what they got planned for Rumble. Cena may win, Punk may win. Ryback's not winning, though. No way. I don't see Ryback winning. So yeah, so those are our thoughts on Survivor Series. It's just... I'm just not that interested, really. I usually buy the Big 4 pay-per-views, but even for £15, I really don't want to buy this one. I just want to stream it.
That's the thing, because from the first point, especially following the 3-week noticing of the build and how bad they built up from the first week, because straight away, yes, some people were for the first week and how they set it up, but I was against. I was thinking, no, you've got too many big wrestlers in the team versus team match, not a proper main event, which was screened up by Hell in a Cell. So to be honest, from week 1, I was against this.
Yes, so a very uninteresting Big 4 pay-per-view by WWE. Feels like a real filler one, but there we go. Give us your thoughts on Survivor Series down in that comment section below. We will, of course, be reviewing the show on Sunday, tomorrow. I'm going to leave NJ now to provide you guys an outro.
Thank you very much, people. And from the sole survivors of this YouTube video, Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. What's up? What was that?
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Till next time, people. I'm going to go and heal up my hand, and goodbye.